Hello and welcome to Aging is for Everyone. I'm Laura Mondello and I'm your host for the show. Today we're going to be talking about staying fit and well this winter. No, you can't just stay on the couch. You really have to get out and do something. So here to talk to us a little bit about why exercise is so important and some ideas of maybe exercise you might want to try, including Tai Chi, is Bob White, who's the owner of White's Martial Arts and Tai Chi with Bob White. Welcome, Bob.
Thank you so much for having me, Laura. It's a pleasure.
It's great to have you here. I mean, it's so important for people to get up and stay active. In the winter, we just want to kind of hibernate. What are some ideas for seniors as far as, things that they can do to stay active?
I'm an exercise professional who earns my full-time living teaching fitness, Tai Chi, martial arts, some fitness classes. According to the American Council on Exercise and the American College of Sports Medicine, the best exercise is walking. Walking's your best exercise. It's going to improve your balance. It's going to provide a cardiovascular benefit. That is, your heart and lungs are going to benefit. It can be sociable. You can socialize when you're walking. Legs become stronger. The drawback is this time of year. Nobody's walking today. It's too cold, too much snow.
Right, unless they're going to the mall and you might find too many people there right now.
Absolutely. Then you have to get in the car and drive. That was always the nice thing about walking in the nice weather. You could open up your door and begin your exercise routine right out of your front door.
Exactly.
So we need cold weather alternatives. Tai Chi has a great benefit. No equipment necessary.
Right.
And what's important is the stepping. And that's what I want to talk about today, the importance of moving about, stepping, walking to maintain our balance, keep our hips healthy and flexible.
Right.
And that'll be like walking in a more controlled, deliberate way.
Right. Now, can you compare, for instance, what if somebody's thinking they're trying to find the right exercise for them? Why might they consider Tai Chi, or why might they decide maybe yoga's right for them or some other exercise? What would you say are some of the differences?
The first thing I have to say is any exercise, aerobics, strength training, yoga, offer benefits that are substantial. Blood pressure is reduced, systolic, diastolic, weight loss, lessen the risk of heart disease, longevity. People that exercise in any way live longer.
Right.
You can add years to your life. That'll occur with any exercise you do. So what am I most likely to do? The big difficulty is motivation. What am I going to get up off the couch and do? Some people like yoga. It's a wonderful exercise. It's probably humankind's oldest exercise. Some evidence dates yoga to 3000 BC. It's possible it existed before that. It's wonderful exercise. It's holistic. It teaches a whole healthy lifestyle. It can tranquilize us. It's meditative. Flexibility increases. That increases our range of motion for everyday activity. The things we do during the day are easier.
Right.
What might not a person like about yoga? Getting down on the floor.
Right.
That can be a difficult endeavor for some elderly people.
Right.
So that's one thing to think about. People walking, like I say, they can't go out in the cold weather. They may not have a place to do it. Tai Chi can be done anywhere. You don't need equipment. It improves your balance. Your hips become healthier, less likely to have hip replacement, which is going to affect about 200,000 people in the United States every year. So we can reduce our blood pressure, our risk of heart disease with Tai Chi. You don't need any equipment. We get to stand up and do it.
Right. And you get to do it with other people too.
Yes, so there is a social element.
Have a social benefit there.
In fact, I've learned over the years in my classes to structure in some social time. People make friends in Tai Chi. It's nice if they're shut in, they're not getting out a lot. They make new friends. I find they often go out to lunch together. So there is a strong social component. And that encourages us to exercise more. We're more likely to repeat the activity.
Do you think Tai Chi also might help people like cognitively, because they have to learn these new, they have to learn these new moves and remember them and.
Absolutely. The the brain-body connection in Tai Chi is very strong, and it's really simple. I think when we demonstrate, we can talk about that. It's quite easy to understand.
As far as strength, how would it improve your strength?
I was just looking at some studies done. I want to say it was North Carolina, University of North Carolina, which would be Chapel Hill. And the strength benefit wasn't as significant as, say, going to a gym and using equipment like weights or resistance machines. The big benefit from the Chapel Hill study, relief from arthritic discomfort.
Wow.
I remember yes.
That's big.
You're not using medication, you're finding relief from arthritic discomfort. And it can be done so easily with simple movements. Remember, Arthritis Foundation recommends gentle movements for arthritic discomfort.
Right, and there's so many people with arthritis pain that, instead of maybe taking too many pills and medications, they may find that if they do some Tai Chi, perhaps that's going to help them.
Yes.
That's great. That's
simple movements that are easy to learn, kind of fun to do.
Right, and how does it improve somebody's flexibility?
Flexibility is defined as range of motion about a joint.
Right.
That's the definition. So flexibility isn't just for gymnasts or dancers. Flexibility is part of everyday life. And real quick, your shoulders and your hips are the exact same joint. They're called ball and socket joints. We tend to sit too often, so we lose our hip flexibility. Lately this week, I've been concentrating on hip flexibility as the bad weather comes and people tend to become less active. And I've determined that most adults, in a very non-scientific survey that I've been conducting with my students, have really good flexibility or range of motion about the shoulder joint, but the hips, they lose it because we're seated so much. So I like to focus on hip mobility. It's a big, important joint. It's a triaxial joint. It rotates around 3 axes. We're sitting too much. We can drive ourselves around in the car. We sit on the couch. We don't even have to get up and change channels. We've got the remote control. So I've really been working on stretching the hips, strengthening them, all with the goal of improving range of motion around that joint.
That sounds great. Well, we're going to come back and we're going to do some demos with you so we can kind of show what we're talking about, which I think that's the best way for people to get an idea of what Tai Chi can do, is to show them.
Excellent.
And
I
guess I'm going to be joining you too.
Please.
We'll be right back with more Aging is for Everyone.